What is up, guys? In this video we're going to be comparing the new DJI Mini 5 Pro with the older and bigger Air 3S to help you decide which drone is right for you. And quick note, DJI doesn't pay me to make these comparisons. I bought both of these drones with my own money, so there shouldn't be any bias. I'm just giving you my honest thoughts after using both of these drones. So let's go ahead and dive right into the comparison. First up is price. The Mini 5 Pro base kit comes in $260 cheaper than the Air 3S, and even the top Fly More combo with the DJI RC2 for each drone comes in over $350 cheaper for the Mini 5 Pro, so Mini 5 Pro wins on price. Next up is size and weight. The Mini 5 Pro comes in right around 250 grams, whereas the Air 3S weighs almost 3 times as much at 724 grams. And as you can see, the Mini 5 Pro is much smaller than the Air 3S, both folded and unfolded. Now, one thing to note is that the Mini 5 Pro is not actually under 250 grams. My unit weighs 251.7 grams, which puts it just over the 250 gram regulatory limit in a lot of countries. This means that you don't get the benefits of relaxed regulations for sub 250 gram drones, except in EU countries where it is still considered a C0 drone, even though it is slightly over the weight limit. But even aside from regulatory benefits, the Mini 5 Pro is much easier to travel or hike with, so point to the Mini 5 Pro. Next up is camera quality. The main camera on the Mini 5 Pro is basically exactly the same camera as the main wide-angle camera on the Air 3S, so there's very little difference in camera quality. You get the same 24mm focal length, same 1-inch sensor size, same great low light performance, same dynamic range, D-Log-M and HLG color profiles, same video resolution and frame rates, same outstanding photo quality. Basically, the camera quality is very similar, if not identical. The wide-angle camera on both these drones are very, very good, so point to both here. And speaking of cameras, next we have telephoto cameras. The Air 3S has a second 3x 70mm telecamera, which is fantastic. I use it all the time, while the Mini 5 Pro does not have a telephoto camera. It only has one wide-angle 24mm camera. It does, however, have a 4K 2x crop mode that uses the quad Bayer sensor tech to crop into the sensor and maintain better image quality than just cropping into the image in post, which creates a fake telecamera. I was initially quite skeptical of the quality of this crop mode, but after testing it against the 3x camera on the Air 3S, it is surprisingly good quality. In fact, I would say it is very close to the quality of the Air 3S's telecamera, although in real world use, it does feel somewhat less detailed. Now, of course, there are some downsides. First of all, it's only 2x versus 3x zoom, so you can't get as close to subjects and don't get as extreme depth compression and parallax as with a 3x camera. And second, there's no slow motion option in the 2x crop mode. So overall, point to the Air 3S, but the Mini 5 Pro's crop mode is extremely impressive. Which brings me to slow motion. Both drones can shoot in 4K up to 120 frames per second or 1080p up to 240 frames per second, but the Air 3S can shoot both of those frame rates with the telecamera, which is great for wildlife and many of the things where you would want to shoot in slow motion, whereas with the Mini 5 Pro, you are limited to shooting higher frame rates with the wide-angle camera. So point to the Air 3S. By the way, if you want to get drone shots like what you've been watching in this video, I have a completely free 45-minute drone filmmaking training where I share my top 10 secrets to creating cinematic drone videos. And link to that is down in the description. Next up, we have vertical shooting. The Mini 5 Pro lets you flip the entire camera vertically so you can use the entire area of the sensor to shoot vertical photos and videos. And you can maintain full gimbal tilt range in vertical mode on the Mini 5 Pro. The Air 3S, on the other hand, can't flip the camera to shoot vertical, so your only option for shooting vertical is a 2.7K crop mode that takes a vertical crop out of the full height of the sensor, giving you a somewhat better field of view and quality than taking a vertical crop out of a 16:9 video, but falling far short of the Mini 5 Pro's vertical shooting capability. So major point to the Mini 5 Pro here. Next up is gimbal modes and gimbal tilt range. The Air 3S can tilt its gimbal up to 60 degrees above horizontal, whereas the Mini 5 Pro is limited to a slightly lower 55 degrees of upward gimbal tilt. The Mini 5 Pro, however, lets you roll the gimbal 180 degrees to the right and 45 degrees to the left for a total of 225 degrees of roll range. This lets you get barrel roll shots, etc., which I personally don't have a huge amount of use for, but it is a cool feature, so point to the Mini 5 Pro. Next up is top speed. The Mini 5 Pro claims up to 40 miles per hour with the standard batteries and 42 miles per hour with the high capacity batteries, and I was able to hit 40 miles per hour with the standard batteries. The Air 3S, on the other hand, is rated up to 47 miles per hour with no wind and can go on up to 60 miles per hour with a tailwind, both of which I've been able to hit in real world conditions. So point to the Air 3S for faster top speeds. Next, we have wind resistance. Both of these drones are rated for 26.8 miles per hour max wind speed resistance, but in real life, there's a huge difference.
"230 miles an hour. Whoa! Whoa! So yeah, there you have the Mini 5 Pro.
And I found the same thing as with the leaf blower test, flying both drones in real world high wind conditions. So point goes to the Air 3S. Next up is internal storage. Both drones have 42 gigabytes of internal storage, so you aren't stuck if you forget an SD card. So point to both drones here. Next, we have flight time. The Mini 5 Pro is rated at 36 minutes max flight time with the standard batteries and 52 minutes max flight time with the larger plus flight batteries, whereas the Air 3S is rated at 45 minutes max flight time. Now, you never quite get the rated flight time with any drone, but both drones have great flight time, so I'm going to call this category a tie. Next up is control range. Both drones are rated for 20 kilometers or 12.4 miles max control range, but flying both drones over the same course, standing in the same spot with the DJI RC2, the Air 3S disconnected and initiated return to home around 6,500 feet, while the Mini 5 Pro was still connected and controllable and giving me a usable video feed at 8,500 feet. So the Mini 5 Pro wins this category by quite a bit. Next test is prop noise. I measured the sound levels arm's length away from both drones, and the Mini 5 Pro came in at 58 decibels, while the Air 3S measured around 62 decibels. This might not seem like a huge difference on paper, but it's noticeable enough that I felt significantly more comfortable flying the Mini 5 Pro in crowded areas, so point to the Mini 5 Pro for being quieter. Next up is obstacle avoidance. Both of these drones have a very similar obstacle avoidance system with 4 obstacle sensing cameras and forward-facing LiDAR, and both work very well. But neither is perfect, especially when it comes to tree branches with no leaves on them. So we'll call this category a tie. Next, we have ActiveTrack. Both of these drones do a great job tracking subjects, but on my standard test course, the Mini 5 Pro did a better job keeping up with me and not getting hung up going around 20 miles per hour down a gravel road with trees on the sides. In fact, it did better than almost any other DJI drone I've tested. This is likely at least in part because DJI has added cycling and skiing tracking modes to the Mini 5 Pro, which could be added via a firmware update but are currently not available on the Air 3S. So point to the Mini 5 Pro for improved ActiveTrack. Next up is durability and build quality. Both of these drones are pretty tough. I've crashed the Mini 5 Pro a couple of times already with no damage, and while I haven't actually crashed the Air 3S, I have crashed the Air 3, which has essentially the same body and build, a number of times with no serious damage. So both drones get a point. And then we have max altitude. The Mini 5 Pro is limited to flying at 1,640 feet or 500 meters above the takeoff point, whereas the Air 3S lets you go on up to 3,280 feet or 1,000 meters above takeoff. Now you might be wondering why this matters when you're only allowed to fly 400 feet above ground level. And the one time that this does matter is when you're flying up a mountain. Many mountains are well over 1,600 or even 3,200 feet tall, so the Air 3S has a pretty big advantage for flying mountains. And finally, there are a couple features that the Mini 5 Pro has that the Air 3S lacks. The first of these is that the drone will automatically power on when you unfold the arms and automatically power off when you fold it back up. And when you stick a battery in the drone while it's unfolded, it will automatically power on. These aren't make it or break it features, but they are nice touches to make setup faster. And the second feature is dynamic home point. This lets you set the home point where the drone will automatically return to the current location of your remote and updates that location in real time as you move around. This is extremely useful if you're moving while flying the drone, for example, flying from a moving vehicle, and it's something I've been wishing DJI would add to their drones for years. Now, dynamic home point is only available with the RC2 remote, not with the RCN3, but these new features do get the Mini 5 Pro an extra point. So now for my final thoughts, which drone is overall better? According to the scoreboard, the Mini 5 Pro wins in more categories than the Air 3S, but both are great drones and it depends on what your needs are and how you plan to use the drone. If you want to shoot vertical videos for social media, the Mini 5 Pro is absolutely the way to go. If size and weight matter to you, you hike with a drone a lot, or you need it to be small to travel with, or you're flying in a country where it gets sub 250 gram rules, then again, the Mini 5 Pro is likely the drone to get. And if you need a drone that doesn't attract as much attention because it's smaller and quieter, it's again going to win out. On the other hand, if you want a drone with a true telecamera, the Air 3S is going to be the drone for you. Or if you want a drone that can fly much faster, get to where you want to go quickly, or fly tall mountains, the Air 3S is again likely the better choice. And if you fly in high winds a lot, the Air 3S is going to have a very significant edge. If I didn't have either of these drones and had to pick just one of them, I would probably lean toward the Air 3S because I love its speed and power, and I use the 3x telecamera all the time, but depending on what you need, the Mini 5 Pro may be the better choice for a lot of you. And no matter what drone you get, if you don't have the right skills, you won't be getting epic cinematic shots like what you see in DJI launch videos. And so that's why I put together my 12-hour drone filmmaking course to take you beyond just owning a drone and knowing how to fly it, to mastering all the skills of camera settings, composition, lighting, editing, color grading, and so much more, so you can create professional cinematic videos. And you can check that out at flyingfilmmakerpro.com. Or if you aren't ready to dive into the full course, I have a completely free 45-minute drone filmmaking training where I share my top 10 secrets to creating cinematic drone videos. And links to both of those are in the description. And if you've gotten value out of this video, you can click or tap the screen to watch another one of our videos. Make sure to gently tap the like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos just like this.